All right, I've got 34 minutes to do this, so let's make the most of that time together. Hey guys, it's been a really long time. I'm here to update you about where I've been and what's coming in 2023. So I'm just going to get my phone out because I did write down some bullet points. That way I can stay on track. I didn't think I would only have 30 some minutes, but I'm going to make every bit of use of the time that I have left on my memory card. The reason why I have so little time left is because I just filmed 2 videos, my favorite books of 2022, and then also my favorite products of 2022. I want to do those. I want to share them with you guys. That kind of stuff makes me excited. They are very long videos. I would say 40 minutes plus, so you're definitely going to need a beverage, get comfy with those things. But they will be coming over the next week, and yeah, just keep an eye out for those. I wanted to get caught up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to at first do this chronologically of where I've been, what's been going on, and then I'm going to backpedal a little bit. But that is just going to be the easiest. I'm glad that I'm making this video now. I've made it a couple other times and I wasn't able to get through it. So as long as I don't start crying, it should be fine, because once I start crying, I can't stop. But as long as I'm not crying, I'm normally pretty good. So yes, chronologically, just to kind of give you a gist and overview of where I've been. And like I said, I'll backpedal. And then the second half is just like my plans for 2023 when it comes to my content. So where I've been. A couple days after Thanksgiving, my grandpa was put on hospice. And over the next several weeks, I spent that time with my grandma and my grandpa, checking in on him, doing what I could for her, spending time with him, a lot of different stuff. And then he started to decline pretty rapidly, and he ended up dying on December 12th. And then we had his funeral a few days later. I did end up getting my period between him dying and the funeral, so I was already not feeling well. And then just a couple days after his funeral, I came down with influenza A. So I had the flu and my period, and my grandpa had just died, and it was just, I feel like I was taking it from all sides. And because I was the only one in my family who did not get a flu shot, the flu absolutely rocked me to no end. I mean, it was horrendous. It was so bad. I have not been that sick in such a long time. It was awful. So I was dealing with that for probably like, I don't know, at least a week and a half, if not a little bit longer. We ended up pushing our Christmas with family to New Year's weekend because we all had came down with the flu by Christmas time. And even though we were feeling better on Christmas, didn't feel well enough to have my family over. Definitely didn't want them getting sick. So we pushed that, and we had a great Christmas. It was amazing. Obviously, it was just us 5, but it was still magical and amazing, and had a great time. Like I said, we moved our family Christmas plans to the New Year's weekend, and that was very nice and very needed, and really enjoyed seeing all of our family. And we decided to do like Christmas pajamas. So I know that's not new, that a lot of people do that, but, and personally, my family of 5 has always done that because we just stay in our pajamas. But normally people who come over to our house, they have normal clothes on, but we decided to all be comfy this year, and it was really nice. So after Christmas, I actually ended up with an ear infection from the flu. So I had like 50% less hearing in my right ear the entire time after I was recovering from the flu, but I figured it would just eventually, I'd get decongested and it would move on. But I did not. And it quickly turned into just being horrible. So that kind of wraps up where I am, because the past week or so I've been mending from my ear infection, which thankfully is feeling a lot better now. And I did try to film videos last weekend, but there was a whole thing, so I didn't get those up. I tried to film an update video like a month ago, and it didn't go up. So I'm here now, and that's where I've been. And this is the part where I would like to backpedal, and the part where I'm gonna try and not cry, but to keep it short and sweet, the important stuff and the things that I want to be known, so that way you guys can have the most context as possible and understand is that, I grew up in a neglectful and traumatic home, and I spent most of my childhood with my grandpa and grandma Burton. That's their last name. That's how we call grandparents in our family, by their last name. And so even though I called my grandpa, he was my dad. Not just when I was younger, because of how much my grandparents had me and how much I stayed, and just all of those things and the things that they did for me and all of it, but also as I got older as well. And my grandpa hadn't been doing well for the past few years. As people get older, you see a decline over the years, but it's a slow one. And it's something that you think in the moment is going to help you adjust when it finally happens, but I don't know that it does. And this year has been really rough. Well, not this year anymore. It's 2023 now, but 2022 was really rough for my grandpa for a lot of different reasons. And even though I knew over those last few months that he was not doing well, the hospice decision was still very shocking to me. Because like I said, no matter how much you really try to prepare yourself for it, you just can't be until it's here. So that was really hard. And if none of you have any experience with hospice, it's also a very emotionally taxing type of thing, because it's just kind of like a roller coaster. There's some really good days and some really bad days, and there's a lot of days in between that are somewhere in the middle. So it was a very conflicting time, I guess is what I'm getting at. You just don't know how to feel. Each day is different. If it's a bad day, if it's a good day, you just never feel like you can get too comfortable in anything. And it makes it really emotionally challenging when you are caregivers and relatives and stuff like that. And I do want to say, thankfully, my grandpa was not in any pain, and he had little understanding at this point of what was happening. He slept a lot, and that was a relief to us closest to him, that, it was mainly like he was just taking really long naps and he was comfortable, and that was just really, really a relief to us. So, it's still hard. It's still really hard to watch that. And while I think that the hospice nurses and the hospice people are really amazing and they do a fabulous job, I don't think that we were prepared enough for what death really looks like. I wish that they had done that a bit more. It's as jarring as everyone says that it is. It's kind of one of those things, like when people ask, how do you know if your water breaks? And you just have to say, you just know, like it's just a feeling. You can't really describe it. That's what dying is. You can't really put your finger on it or point to one set of things, but when you know it, when you see it, you know it. And it's still really hard, and it was hard at the time to see that version of my grandpa. I wanted some relief for him. I wanted whatever he wanted, that kind of thing. You don't want them to suffer. You want this to be as pain-free and exactly what they want. And when they go, and, all of that. But it's when you start reflecting on the other version of that person, who they had been your entire life, that's when, it really, the hurt really settles in. Because, like I said, my grandpa was my dad. I feel like over the years, I tried to downplay that, and I tried to tell myself, maybe that wasn't the case, and that's just how I told myself it was. But after going through decades of family photos and visual evidence, I am quite certain that that's exactly how it was. and I've never been more sure. I don't see, I want to go there with you guys, but I'm also, if I can just be frank and honest, I am so tired of crying. I'm not tired of thinking of him at all. Like, I want to think about him constantly, but I can't think about him without wanting to bawl my eyes out. And as a person who's responsible for a lot of things, that is super hard. You guys know that I'm no stranger to grief, that I went through recurrent miscarriages, and in a lot of ways my grief is similar, and I can recognize a lot of things when it comes to that, but this is a different type completely. And to be frank, I didn't know how much of this kind of grief I would actually feel. Being no contact with my biological father, you know, I didn't know if I would ever feel this in my life, and I know I've lost my dad, and it's not a pain that I would wish on anybody. And I don't know, like I said at the end, I just wanted what was best for him and to make him comfortable. And I didn't want him to struggle to be here. But when I get to be selfish in my own thoughts and I think about him, I just want him back, you know? I want to see him, and I want to hug him. And I want him to make jokes and play with my kids. Do all the stuff I know him to do. I might have called him Grandpa, but he was my dad, and he was just Grandpa to my girls. They did not call him Great Grandpa. He was just Grandpa. And he would pester me and my grandma all the time about the girls coming over and staying. When can they come next? I want the girls here. I can't express how much he loved them, and like how much they lifted his spirits with everything that he went through in the end. And it was like, you know, they just brought so much joy to him. It's just really sad when you lose that, you know, because he brought us so much joy and so much love. And well, I'm happy he's not struggling to be here anymore. You know, no amount of time with him would have ever been enough. I had almost 30 years, and that still wasn't enough with him. And I miss him every day, and it like hurts how much I miss him. And I wish I could just call him, or talk to him, or cook him dinner, or get him a chocolate shake, or like any of the things. It's been really hard. It's a new kind of grief that I've never been through. And it's also been the first time that my kids are old enough to understand that someone very close to them has passed. And that's been difficult too. I've been really thankful. I feel like at a different time where I'm not time limited, I will go more into this and I can share more. But I've never been more thankful for my husband. Also, my aunt on my mom's side of the family. She is not only a fabulous aunt, but she's also a therapist. So she's had private conversations with the girls and stuff, which has been so nice because I trust her not only on a level of being an aunt, but she is fabulous at what she does. So I love that they have not only an aunt, but a professional. It's just really hard. It's really hard to live in a world that doesn't have him, because for 30 years it has. And, you know, when I got the hospice call, nothing else was important. Just being there with him and doing everything I could and being with him as much as I could was the only thing that was important. And the next important thing was making sure that my grandma was taken care of, because she has been his caregiver his entire life. And my grandma, as he is a dad to me, she is a mom to me. And, you know, to see her go through this has also been really difficult. I just want to do whatever I can, even though I know I can't do anything at all. Nobody can make that better. New battery, new memory card. So not as limited, but still don't want to make this mega long for you guys, even though I'm sure it will be. But, yeah, just seeing her go through a lot of things that I can't help with and I can't make better has also been super hard, and I just want to do whatever I can for her. And I don't know, she loves spending time with the girls and they are such a joy to her, so we're making sure to bring her even closer, I guess. We've been extremely close with my grandparents, but pulling her even closer now is super important. Like I said, it's really hard to not only spend 49 years with somebody, but also to be their caregiver on a lot of levels, and to have all of that taken away from you at once. We want to do whatever we can to remind her that she's loved and that we're here for her and that she can lean on us, and we want to spend time with her. So now that's the most important priority, and just really paying attention to her and what she needs during this time. I just naturally fell into helping my grandma with a lot of everything after he passed, whether it was the funeral or other things. So a lot of my time has just been spent helping her with literally anything and everything that she needs. The funeral was obviously really tough, and something that I want to bring up to, again, give context, but I'll explain it more in a different setting. But because this was my biological dad's side of the family, it did bring him back into my life, which brought a whole other set of emotions and difficulty to all of this, which was entirely unhelpful. And yeah, so it was a real tough couple of months. Especially, I felt like after the funeral, I was like, okay, like, I don't do well grieving in front of people. In the privacy of my own home, I've gotten a lot better over the years. Like, I used to not be able to grieve in front of anybody. I had to do it at night alone by myself. But over the years and over years of therapy and working on my coping skills, I've gotten better that in the privacy of my own home, I'm more at ease and I'm able to feel those things and difficult emotions. But around people, I still have a very hard time. And obviously, as you can, probably guess, with having someone in your family pass away, there is a ton of extended family and friends and all this stuff going on. So I felt like after the funeral, I could finally like grieve and like really sit with my own feelings about everything and not be trying to put other people first or not feeling like I could. And then unfortunately the flu had different plans for me, and it literally took me out for days. So I was in bed, unable to do anything. And through the hospice and Grandpa's death and also the flu and me being sick, thankfully, Mark's work schedule just happened to keep lining up in the perfect ways to give me the time I needed for everything. It was just amazing. And on the one occasion with Grandpa that I wanted to go and spend time with him and he had to work, my mom and my stepdad rearranged their schedule to watch the girls the entire weekend. So I spent the entire weekend with him and my grandma, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. So yeah, it's been a lot. There's been a lot going on. And I think all of this goes without saying that I didn't intentionally leave you guys hanging, and that, December is the month that I thrive and I have so many ideas that I want to do for you guys. And that my Christmas list video had already been edited and uploaded and everything, all ready to go, like weeks before all of this had happened. So that was just kind of a late video that I had forgot about, and I was like, oh, I better get that up there. So if that seemed kind of random, that's why I did want to just completely disregard a video I had already spent a lot of time and energy on. But that's where I've been. I've tried multiple times to just update you guys in the slightest, but I lost my voice when I had the flu, and that wasn't working. And then I haven't been in a good enough mindset to come here and talk to you guys, like I said, without bawling my eyes out. So still did that, but I got through this video better than I did any others, and I was still understandable. So that's That's something. That's progress. I know a lot of you are going to rush to tell me to take my time and I don't have to come back, and I thoroughly appreciate that. I really do. But I do have to come back. This is the way that I support my family, and YouTube is my job. And not only that, but I'm at the point where I feel like my work will help. I'm never going to do anything that I don't want to do or that I feel like would be too much for me right now. But, you know, making those videos, it was really nice. It was really nice to give myself a different focus. And sometimes your work is helpful. And that's what I'm ready for right now. And not only am I ready to, but I have to, because it's, again, how I support my family. So you watching, liking, commenting, all that stuff on my videos means everything to me, because you're supporting me, supporting my family. So it means a lot. And that's where I've been. That's what I've been going through. And yeah, it's been a lot, guys. It's been a lot. And I'm ready for it to be a lot less. So that'd be great. And I think that just brings me back to my plans moving forward and for 2023. As far as it goes with this channel, not a whole lot is going to change. I just want to get caught up. You know, there's things that I want to share. I know I didn't get to do as many gift guides as I normally do at the end of the year. I still had never posted Sophie and Lexi's birthday party videos, which I'm still going to do. I do those mainly for my kids. The haul portion, yes, I'm trying to be helpful, but the end of the video is always for my kids. They love watching those of their birthday parties. So I still want to do those. I also thought maybe it'd be fun to do like my kids' favorite toys in 2022. Not necessarily a gift, kind of a gift guide. I don't know. You know, I'm just trying to do something, anything that I can at this point in the year. And to still give you guys ideas and suggestions and recommendations of things that we truly love and we stand beside. Because a lot of my ideas just got pushed right off the table when everything started happening. And that's my main focus right now with the channel, is just getting back on track. So some of those videos that, you know, obviously I'm uploading mid-January, my favorites of 2022, but I think that's okay. And then after that, I think I'm going to move to one video a week, maybe more if I can swing it, just depending on how I feel. But I want to get back into the what's for dinners and grocery hauls, the other various hauls that I have throughout the year, like for the kids' clothing and stuff, and you know, my book content and my gift guide ideas, whether it be Easter baskets, Valentine's Day, school, boo baskets, Christmas stuff. I love doing those things with you guys. So I want to get comfy into my channel over here again and just do my thing. And the only thing that's going to be new on this channel this coming year is going to be things to do with nails. You guys know right now I don't have any on. I desperately need them because my fingers are definitely getting the stress that I've been under lately. But you guys know that I have always done my nails at home. I typically have done press-ons, but in part of helping my grandma, I'm going to start doing her nails, and we're both really excited for it. It's a way for her to come out and hang out over here, and I can also do something for her that she really enjoys. But I did get a lot of dip powder. I'm going to try that with her. I think she's really going to like it. Back when I was a young kid, she loved acrylic nails, but she hasn't had those in years. She's just been doing gel polish. So I think the dip powder would be a really good balance between what she's getting now and what she used to, and something that's manageable and doable for the both of us. It's also something that I'm just interested in too, since discovering it. I know it's been around for a long time. It's not new, but I've always heard of it. I never really looked into it until I was like, oh wow, I think she'd really enjoy that. So I did buy some dip powder. I also bought some more like gel polish and stuff. And I'm also going to show you the nail stuff that I got for Christmas from Mark. And I'm going to start sharing that content here because everything is so expensive right now. So expensive. So if you want to do your nails at home, I highly recommend it. I have not been unhappy doing my nails at home, and it's much more cost efficient. Absolutely nothing against nail techs. I completely understand. Just as a cosmetologist myself, they can charge what their work is worth. Absolutely nothing against that. They should. But as other things in life become more and more expensive, supplies become more and more expensive, it's just slowly becoming out of people's budget to do extra things. So I want to take you guys along for the journey of like branching out and trying new nail stuff, because I know I've shared about the press-on things before, but you know, the dip powder and the things that Mark had got me was actually for like the Gel X extensions, where you put a full tip on your nail that's clear and you cure it with UV gel. So really cool. It's been making the rounds on TikTok, and he got me a lot of those supplies for Christmas, and I want to share that stuff with you guys. So nail content will be like nails at home though. Like I don't want you to think I'm a professional nail YouTuber at this point, or I'm going to show you nail art or anything like that. I just want to share what I'm doing at home. That's what I mainly want to focus on this year. I want to be realistic with you guys. I want to just, I don't know, like we're trying to save money because everything's becoming so expensive, and I want to share that kind of stuff with you and just kind of get into a content, cozy place here on my channel. I'm the same old Alia that you guys knew, 8 years ago? It's been 8 years in March. So March 13th, 2015 is when I started my channel. Anyways, that's what's going on here. 2 other bits of information. I'm going to be creating a horror channel. It's going to be Midwest Heathen, and that's going to be the name of it. I haven't made it yet, so I don't have a link or anything for you, but it is where I'm going to put my horror content. This is not for anybody else other than myself. I need to do more things for me, and since I already like content creating and I'm comfortable and I understand and I have the resources to do that because it is my job, I also want to make content for myself. And I get that horror is not for everybody, but it is for me. And there's times where I really want to share things with you guys, but I feel like it's just way out of the threshold of what's normal over here. And I want to share more stuff about horror because it's genuinely one of my favorite things. I love horror books. I love horror movies. I love the culture. It's great. It's an art that I really truly see. I'm not an artistic person, I would say. I don't really understand a lot of it, but horror is an art form to me, and it's one that I really enjoy and something that I want to spend more time with. So I'm going to be making that. I totally don't expect you guys to subscribe or anything like that, but I do know that I have a couple of you horror lovers on here, whether it be from books or other things, movies, and you guys were always talking on Instagram DMs about what new movie came out and if it's good or not, stuff like that. So I wanted to let you know, because when I do have a place that you can follow that's just strictly about horror, you know, I'll let you guys know. But I'm personally really excited about that because, again, it's just for myself, something that I want to do with one of my own personal interests. And the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys about, which I think you're going to be mostly excited for, is I'm going to create another channel, and I'm going to be doing long form chit chat videos, but they're going to be more about specific, deeper topics. So I've had the chit chats here on my channel for a really long time, and those won't go anywhere. I'll still have them. I'll still talk about what's going on in our homeschool life and with the kids and, you know, things like that. I'm definitely still going to check in here, but there's so many times during a chit chat video where I feel like I really want to talk about deeper subjects with you guys, but I don't want to make it an hour long, and I don't really want to go off on a tangent like that without warning. Not everybody wants that, you know, so I have been having this idea that I want to do something like that for a really long time, and I finally took the plunge. I got a microphone. We're keeping it real low key over here. I don't know if I can say that because I'm almost 30 now, but that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm going to use my iPhone to record them on because it will be at night while everybody is sleeping. So we will have the privacy of, you know, a quiet, warm home. And I'm just going to do it at my dining room table with my camera. I already have a tripod for it, and I just bought a microphone that plugs into it. So it does look like a little podcast microphone, but it goes straight to here, and that way I can really easily transfer this to my computer. And it's going to be long, between 1 to 2 hours, and we are going to be talking about some deeper topics. things that I feel passionately about, things that I think are important to talk about, whether it be no contact with family members or generational trauma or exploiting children on social media, or I'm just thinking of things that have just been in my head the past couple of days. But there are so many things that I want to talk about that are deeper subjects. I'm really excited for that. I don't know what it's going to look like, how we're going to do this or anything like that, but you guys are going to figure it out with me, and I don't know, we're just going to figure this out, and I'm really looking forward to it because I love talking to you guys. You've told me for years that the chit chats feel like you're just talking to a friend, and that's exactly how I feel when I'm making these kind of videos. I don't feel like I'm talking, not even just these, no matter what, I legitimately don't think that I'm talking to a camera. I just kind of know that you guys are there, like you're going to be watching it, and that's what I think of. So I'm talking to you guys. I mean, it's a one-way conversation right now, but I am talking to you, and that's what I want the long-form chit chats to feel like. I know what it's like to be a progressive person or a left-leaning person in a really conservative place, or having conservative family members, or like whatever, and it feel like you not have a lot of people, or, you know, being an atheist in, you know, a family full of people who have religion, just feeling like you might be alone in certain things. And I want to give space to those that maybe aren't talked about a lot. You know, atheism could be another thing that we talk about, or just being non-religious. That's something that's been on my mind a lot lately too, because of things that have happened in my life recently. So, you know, just things like that. I want to talk to you guys in depth for a while. So those will be coming shortly. I'll update you when I have those things set up and where you can watch them if you want to watch them. I wanted to let you guys know where I was and how I've been doing and why I just kind of disappeared. It's been a real rough couple of months, and I just want to say from experience, if you comment down below and all I can do is like it back, please don't take offense to that. I've had so many sweet DMs on Instagram, but they make me so emotional, and I just end up losing it at some point, that all I can do is just like it because I'm crying and I'm reading it and I can't even form words to think to send back. So if all I'm doing is liking the comments, I hope you guys can understand. It's just a lot to try and think to respond back to everybody's comments. I know back on some of my miscarriage videos, when people would share their loss with me, I would want to recognize that and thank them for sharing. And I hope that you know that I'm saying that without actually responding, just because it's really hard right now. With my anxiety, I want to seclude myself and close myself off. That's my coping mechanism, and I'm trying my hardest not to do that. So a video like this is already a little difficult. And I think if I felt like I had to respond to every single comment, I don't know that I would look at any of them. And I don't want to do that. I want to talk to you guys. I want to see you guys. So if I'm just liking them, I hope you guys can understand. You'll have a couple videos that are really long coming out where I'm not crying and I'm normal and talking about books and other products throughout the year that I liked. And after that, I have some other stuff that I'm thinking of and planning. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to settle in with you guys here on this channel. I'm excited to expand with other things on other channels. I don't know. I'm just really excited when it comes to my work. I haven't felt like that in a long time in general. I definitely still get excited about certain videos, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for understanding. I know you're going to be amazing in the comments, and I appreciate you guys so much. All the love and support, the likes, views, comments, all of it throughout the year. You make this channel just so safe. It's just such a safe place that I can be myself, and I can never thank you enough for that. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm grateful for our community, and I'm sorry that this was such a crappy update and that I didn't have better news for you. But I hope that you're just as excited for this year and my content as I am. So I'll be seeing you guys around. And as always, thanks for watching.